Hello everyone, welcome back to my course on enhancing soft skills and personality, and welcome back again to this very energizing and exciting lesson on channelizing positive emotions and gaining power from positive thinking. I am happy that we are going to complete the third week. This is the fifth unit and this is lesson 15. So, on the whole you will be completing the 15th lesson and then you will be giving the third assignment. So, in case you have not thought of giving it, I would strongly recommend that even if you are not interested in getting the certificate or writing the final exam, at least participate in the assignments. So, give your thoughts, try out whether you are thinking right or wrong. They are not that difficult once you go through the videos and then look at the handouts that we have put at the end of it in the form of PDF of PPT. If you go through that, you will remember whatever I have been discussing in the lesson. So, try out the assignments, and before I start this lesson, let us take a quick highlight of the last one. In the last one, I discussed about the importance of channelizing positive emotions with reference to gaining power from positive thinking. I started with the story of two dying patients, and one patient narrated a very beautiful story to the other patient, and because of which the other patient was able to live longer and happily. But we realize at the end only that the patient who was actually narrating the story was blind, and then the beautiful scenery that he has been narrating from the window actually was facing a very blank and empty wall. Now, mind in itself can create this positivity provided you are willing to do that. So, that is the point I will emphasize on this lesson also. It is important to visualize positive thoughts, and once you are able to visualize that, you will be able to energize the people around you, like the patient who did it in this story. What did it indicate overall to us? It indicated that positive thinking makes you accept your sorrow, and it will also make you live a very happy, healthy, satisfied, fulfilling and meaningful life. Now, I said that I will not focus more on negative thinking, especially with regard to controlling anger. I spent only one unit. I said because the aim of the course is to share positivity and energize the participants, and the focus is particularly on positive thinking, and there is so much negativity that has been floated to you through media, through people around you. So, I do not want to spend more on negative thinking. However, in this unit, I will still tell you how to kill this negative energy and convert that into positive energy. Why? Because again, remember from the last one, it is important to have positive energy, positive thinking for success, and success begets success, and failure with a negative attitude attracts more failure. Positive mental attitude attracts opportunities for success, while negative mental attitude repels those opportunities. While positive mental attitude will find a way to do things to achieve your goals, it's negative mental attitude that will refuse to take the first step even when the way is clear and the way is set. It's through doubt and negative thinking the journey will not commence at all. As Henry Ford rightly pointed out, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. So, whether you are positive in your outlook or whether you are negative in your outlook, the world unfolds according to your mental attitude. Negative thinking deprives you of self-development and keeps you in perennial vacuity. In this context, I quoted from Bruce Lee, who believes that most people have a void that is actually constituted by negative thinking, and they are too busy in wasting their vital creative energy in their own negative projections of themselves instead of focusing on creating a positive personality of their own. Now, I also concluded with another thought about miracles and suggested that you should start believing in miracles, and once you start believing in miracles, you will begin to see them around. With that thought, we will move to this lesson. Now, the lesson again continues with the previous thinking about gaining power by being a positive person in terms of your mental attitude. But the question, the fundamental question that you will be asking me is that how can I change my negative thinking? It's something that comes to me very spontaneously. Every time I am in a group, people know that I am the negative thinker. I don't know why I am so pessimistic, why I am so skeptical, why I am doubting things all the time, but it comes to me so naturally. And it's there all the time, and it's killing me, and I know, I am aware of it, but I'm different, I'm made up this way. Don't you think so? And can we really change this thinking? No, the first thing is, change cannot happen overnight. Okay, it's something that you have developed over a long period of time, and you cannot expect to change your negative thinking just overnight. Just by watching this one single video, you will not become a very highly positive person tomorrow morning. Okay. Because negative thinking comes to you so spontaneously, so habitually, so naturally that you don't even think that it's negative thinking unless somebody tells that don't talk like that. So, you are just throwing a wet blanket, you are dampening our enthusiastic spirits. Unless somebody tells you, you don't even realize that you are thinking negatively. But if at all you want to change, you need to change the internalized habits of a lifetime. The habits have come to you through your own thoughts, which are delving deeply in your mind. Most of them have been fossilized, they are frozen, they have become like icebergs. Okay. They are moving freely for some time, now they have become so strong and stabilized. Now, you need to break that ice. How can you do that? Are there steps? Yes, of course. What are the steps that you need to follow? I would suggest that follow these 5 steps and you will be able to change your negativity. The first one is to create that burning desire combined with the drive and then reinforced with determination that you should change your negative thinking. So, once you desire that you should become a positive thinking person, that is the first step. As I have been telling before, you cannot take a horse to the pond and make it drink. What I mean to say is, you can only take the horse to the pond, but you cannot make it drink. The same way, I can only tell you that follow these steps and you will be able to change your negativity. But unless you are willing to start with the first step of desiring to change, you will not be able to go to the next one. The next step is delving deep into self, introspecting on your own, thinking deep, delving into your secrets of the innermost corners of your mind, looking at the grey areas, looking at the dark areas, throwing light on them, illuminating them, and then slowly removing all the dark things, the inner corners, recesses in our mind, which are actually pulling us down. Followed by discarding limitations. So, when you identify these dark areas, the weaknesses, faults, you should learn how to discard them, throw them out. And the next stage becomes easy in one sense, not easy in another sense, that is developing positive image. Easy because already you have discarded all negative thoughts, difficult because this is a journey that has to become lifelong and you need to continually proceed in this positive image and the direction that you have chosen in terms of positivity. And to crown all, at the end of it, you need to synchronize your body and mind and world. To some of you, they appear to be different. I will explain when I reach the final stage. The first point, the first step, desire, have the drive and move with determination. Desire a happy, positive self. Feel that you should have this positivity. You should kindle the drive in you to move with positive people and live a positive lifestyle. First, identify the positive people and then feel that you should associate with them. Now, the really positive people do two things. One, they try to energize you. If you are even negative, they try to change you and make you positive. But when they realize you are so determined to be negative and you are so strong in your fossilized thoughts and you are with your fixed mindset and you cannot be grown out of that kind of fossilized thinking, they will move away from you. So, it is important that if you want to be with this positive group, you need to change your mindset of being negative and then slowly move towards a positive lifestyle and be determined to live that path despite obstacles. So, there will be lots of things that will come on your way that will try to discourage you, but move ahead. The next stage is delving deep into self. Now, you cannot control your mind without controlling your negative thoughts. So, you need to control the thoughts and then you can control the mind, and when you control the mind, you will be able to channelize positive emotions and gain power out of your positivity. To do this, you should distance yourself from you as an agent, from your mind as the instigator to initiate action. That is, see yourself as a separate person from what your mind is doing to you as an individual and to your body and your emotion. What is it that your mind doing? Just separate yourself and then observe. To do this, you need to meditate or concentrate in a very calm place, or even sit in a place and then just note down what is your mind doing in terms of processing certain thoughts, okay. And then what is it making you do. Introspect over the gap between your thoughts and action. So, in a piece of paper, you just write thoughts. What did you think and what did you do? Okay. A simple thing like you wanted to go to the temple, but what did you do? A friend called you for a movie and you went to the movie. Now, what happened? Why the gap happened in between your thoughts and action? Just keep analyzing that. The next important thing is understand the difference between external and internal reality. Now, what is external reality and internal reality? External reality is the world around us. Internal reality is how we perceive that world inside us. Now, see how much you live in your own internal reality. So, how much you see yourself in terms of the world that is inside you, and in fact, you will realize that there is no external reality at all. All the time, whatever is seen as objects around you, the world around you, is not the one that you are actually internalizing, but you are using some filters, you are using some thoughts that is sieved through the filters, and you are using the thoughts to control your mind, and then you create your own inner world and you live in that inner world. So, what you should do is you should watch your thoughts and what are they doing? Are they making you stronger or weaker? So, some thoughts come to you and they make you feel very strong, but if you are a negative thinker, any thought that comes to you always makes you think pessimistic in a negative manner, and it would make you feel very gloomy. and observe the filters. Okay. How is your mind filtering, interpreting a situation? Is it always interpreting it in a positive manner or a negative manner? Now, to know this, observe others and see how are their minds looking at the same situation. If you are with them and then the same situation, so how do you look at it and how do others look at it? So, if you look at it in a negative manner and when all others are looking at it in a positive manner, you should realize that it is high time that you need to change that thinking. You should indulge as much as possible in self-analysis. Analyze yourself, identify your limitations. What are the shortcomings? What are your weaknesses? What are your faults? What are your mistakes? Overall, what are those aspects, traits in you which are contributing to your negativity? Now, you may ask, are all people doing this? Of course not. Many people are not concerned about self-analysis, many people are not concerned about changing themselves from being a negative personality into a positive one, and many people choose to live a very normal, mundane, animal kind of existence and run their life like a robot, like a machine that gets up at a time, eats something, runs to work and then sleeps at a time and then enjoys certain things at a time and then dies at a time. So, no introspection, no thinking, but if you want to change your life, you need to introspect, you need to analyze, particularly identify the limitations and watch how your thoughts unfold from the beginning of the day. As soon as you get up, let us say it rains heavily outside, you think, oh, it is spoiled, how I will be able to catch that bus, or my car will not be able to start because the battery will not work if it rains heavily. So, it is a bad day. So, how do you interpret the beginning of the day itself? Do you see that as a very unfortunate day or do you see that as a lucky day? Now, let us look at another interesting anecdote that happened between God and the narrator who calls himself as me in the conversation. It is about a person who complains and seeks clarifications to God as why God put so many unfortunate, unlucky events in his one day. And God's explanation to that is quite startling. Let us look at the conversation. This is available in the internet and then gets circulated in WhatsApp and Facebook, and some of you might have read this also. One version is available on the net, and if you want to read it, I have given the reference at the end. But let us look at it and see how I am relating this to the lesson that we are discussing in terms of gaining positive power. An unfortunate day, there is a conversation with God. Me in a tizzy, God, can I ask you something? God, sure. Me, promise you won't get mad? I promise. In a frustrated tone, why did you let so much stuff happen to me today? Meaning that why did you make my day so bad? And God, what do you mean? Well, I woke up late, yes. My car took forever to start, okay. At lunch, they made my sandwich wrong and I had to wait. On the way home, my phone went dead just as I picked up a call. That was an important call, all right. And to top it all off, when I got home, I just wanted to soak my feet in my foot massager and relax, but it wouldn't work. Nothing went right today. Why did you do that? God. Well, let me see. the death angel was at your bed this morning, and I had to send one of other angels to battle him for your life. I let you sleep through that. Oh, God says, I didn't let your car start because there was a drunk driver on your route that might have hit you if you were on the road. So the person feels very ashamed, and God continues. The first person who made you a sandwich today was sick, and I didn't want you to catch what they have. I knew you couldn't afford to miss work. The person feels embarrassed. Oh, God. Your phone went dead because the person that was calling was going to give a false witness about what you said on that call. I didn't even let you talk to them so you would be covered. I see God. God. Oh, and that foot massager, it had a shot that was going to throw out all of the power in your house tonight. I didn't think you wanted to be in the dark at night. I'm sorry, God. Don't be sorry. Just learn to trust me in all things, the good and the bad. I will trust you, God, and don't doubt that my plan for your day is always better than your plan. I won't, God. And let me just tell you, God, thank you for everything today. You're welcome, child. It was just another day being your God, and I love looking after my children. Now, some of you may not believe in God, some of you may not believe in this story, some of you may not believe that all coincidences will have a grand design and somebody like God sitting as a supercomputer trying to operate that. That's fine. But the point I am trying to make here is, most of the unfortunate things that have been given to us, if only we believe that there may be something positive out of it, which we may not be able to see it at that point of time, but we will be able to see that sooner or later. We don't need a God to come and explain to us like this, but then we will definitely see that. Somebody will come and tell us what happened on the road, what happened to this thing yesterday, and slowly we will uncover things which we appeared to us as something that was very mysterious. Now again the point is, if you are able to trust that and have faith instead of doubting, instead of feeling frustrated, instead of feeling bitter at every event which you think was caused only for you and you are unfortunate to experience that event, if only you show faith, if only you trust, if only you believe in the goodness of the design, you will become positive. Now some real incidences which happened when the Twin Tower in the US was demolished by the terrorists, the notoriously famous 9/11 event, you will be surprised to know the blessed people are not the ones who went to the office in time and then started working in time. They were all the time sincere and then they were so dedicated to work. But the blessed ones are the people who had some cold or cough or some kind of sickness that morning and had to apply for leave. The blessed people are the ones who just missed their train. The blessed are the ones who got their taxi late. The blessed are the ones whose cars didn't start the day. The blessed are the ones who were caught in the traffic jam. There was a very interesting case about one person who decided to come back. His office is so near from his home and he generally walks, but he decided to come back because his new shoes were pinching. So he was feeling the pain, he got irritated and he just wanted to change the shoes to the old one. So he came back home, changed the shoes, and by the time he came out, so the tower was demolished. So the really blessed and the fortunate, you will know only in the long run. So, do not curse yourself for the events which are shaped, which are planned for you for the day. Face them courageously, accept them as part of your life experience and face them with a positive frame of mind. And that is the one that will help you to change yourself. Now, in the introspection, you should identify the faults, limitations, shortcomings, and then you should discard the limitations. You should throw away your faults. The day you change will be the day you will identify your limitations and accept them. Now, how do you do that? You will do that without blaming others or without blaming the circumstances. And if you are willing to own full responsibility for any event, any consequence, and if you are willing to face the reality in all situations, whether good or adverse, so then only you will be able to overcome your limitations. And most important of all, you should be able to empathize with others. We all watch the world with our own colored glasses. Some use green, some use yellow and different colors. And when you look at a bird, when you look at some object, you see it from that colored glasses. And reality is something that is missing all the ways in which we are looking at the objects. We use plain glass, but the way we receive reality is not that plain. It's always distorted. So, it's important that you need to look into others' glasses and how they are perceiving reality before you get into conflict with those people. The moment you learn how to empathize, conflicts will not be there. Only positivity will be generated and good relationships will be enhanced. And the most important of all, you need to stop all bad habits. We had spent quite some time in the previous course about stopping bad habits and developing good habits. Interesting stories were told. So, just go back and then take a quick revision about habit lessons. But here I would say that just you have to stop all bad habits. And then when you are identifying the faults and limitations, and then identify what kind of thoughts are making you sorrowful, what is giving you reasons for your grief. Now, change that particular behavior that is trying to make you sorrow. A negative person finds problems in every solutions. Find out whether you are that kind of person. Somebody is spending so much time taking great pains to find solutions to some complex problems, and you just go there and find out thousands of problems in those solutions. What it actually means is you are caught in your own thoughts which are chaining you, and do not be a prisoner of your own mind. A famous poet, Robert Lowell, makes a very interesting statement. He says that I myself am my enemy, nobody else. So, it is my thoughts, my thinking, those are enemy to me, nobody else. And if anything good or bad happens to me, it is coming because of my thoughts, not because of anybody else. Now, once you are able to discard those limitations, the next stage is developing positive image. Now, how can you do this? You can do this by changing this vicious cycle of repetition and reinforcement from negative to positive. Let me explain. Now, in any negative thoughts, the negative thoughts stay permanently in you, they get perpetuated by your act of repetition. You keep on repeating, you keep on doing the same thing again and again. And not only you keep on doing the same thing, you reinforce, you add extra negative traits to that, and then you get caught in the vicious cycle. A small example, like a person who has this bad habit of drinking. So, every time he will tell his wife, okay, this evening I will not drink. So, while he passes by the wine shop, automatically he feels gravitated towards that shop and then orders for something, gives whatever money is there in the pocket, drinks, and he has promised also his wife that he will come back home in time. And every day he misses this, every day he drinks, every day he goes late. Now, this gets reinforced day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. So, then the reinforcement happens and the habit becomes fossilized, it becomes very difficult to change. But so is a positive habit. If only one day you want to change, so instead of going in that direction, if only you decide to change the direction, you will be able to skip that negative habit one day and then repeat, skip the habit next day, following day, and then reinforce in days, in months, in years. So, even the positive thinking can be repeated and reinforced. Remember, one of the strategies for overcoming bad habits, I mentioned that replace a bad habit with a good habit. So, if you are able to replace that, so for example, cigarette smoking, not only stopping that, every time you feel like smoking a cigarette, so you eat a carrot or you eat some nuts, something that is healthy, and replace that with something that is unhealthy. So, that is how you will be able to repeat and reinforce the positive cycle also. In that stage, a very important aspect is visualization. You should be able to visualize the positive person you want to be. Let us say that you want to become a very famous public speaker. Now, you have to sit alone, meditate, concentrate, or just close your eyes if you think that these words are very bombastic words and high sounding words. Just sit calmly and create a blank space in your mind, and in the space you fill your thoughts of you standing before the mic, speaking very confidently and getting a very standing ovation at the end of the speech. Now, keep visualizing this, only your confident image and positive image, and people asking you questions and you are able to deal with that very efficiently, very confidently. So, that visualization, add it with lot of colorful thoughts. A person whom you are dying to speak, maybe of the opposite sex, is coming and congratulating you. You feel so elated. Now, add all these colorful thoughts. Initially, you were begging for giving a talk. Now, people are willing to give you huge amount of money, lot of rewards. Now, visualize, put all this color into your visualization, and then keep that thought in your mind again and again. Now, when you keep this thought, that is your goal, and visualize that in a positive manner, you will be able to derive new strength and a new calmness compared to your previous nervousness, fretfulness and fearfulness. You will develop a calmness, and overall you will develop a new personality that is slowly moving towards making a positive view from both inside and outside. When I say inside and outside, the last stage that you need to reach is a stage in which you need to synchronize your body and mind and the world. Now, our mind and body are connected, although people think that they are separate. This can be illustrated very simply when you look at your response in situations where you have to come out with a fight or flight response. So, on night you are alone and dogs are just chasing and barking at you. Now you have to either fight, and if there are many dogs, you know you cannot fight, so flight, you have to run fast. So this kind of fight or flight situation, your mind immediately stimulates this hormone called adrenaline and makes you run faster. So the mind body synchronization is there, but the world is something that is given to you by your mind, and then it makes your body react. That is, if your mind thinks that something is bad and then tells your body also it is bad, if it thinks that it is good, it also tells your body that it is good. But for creating this positive personality, you need to synchronize all three. That is, your mind has to think that your thoughts are pure and good, and you need to express that to emulate that positive personality, and body will do that and interpret the world in that positive manner. So it is a kind of feedback. When you show positiveness, the world will also look towards you in a positive manner. So synchronize these things which sometimes look discordant in your life, and try to reverse fearful response to joyful one. Now the fearful response will give you nervousness, but you can reverse that. Just like the fearful one will make you lower your head, but the joyful one will make you feel cheerful, such as listening to music, dancing, cycling, etc. When you do that on your body, it changes your mind. Okay, so you can understand the connection. So you, like for example, you are very gloomy, somebody is putting very cheerful music. So after some time your mind will also change. Or somebody drags you for a dancing, and you realize at the end of the dancing your gloominess has just evaporated. So thoughts also change our body language. When you think low, you slouch, but when you think high, so you become confident, you walk erect. So if your thoughts are depressed, your body language will also exhibit depressiveness, gloominess to others. But if you make your thoughts cheerful, your body language will also express cheerfulness. And as you know, this cheerfulness, happiness, positivity is contagious. You will also make your environment very cheerful and energetic. Now fear, whether you fear for cockroach or dog or stage fright or any kind of fear, psychologists say that they are all associated to only one thing, that is death. Let us say you think that you are afraid of dog, but actually your fear is if the dog will bite me, and then if I get the disease, and then if I die, if no medicines work effectively and then I die, so what will happen? So stage fright, so instead of giving that presentation in a very effective manner, the fear is that what will happen if I fail? If I fail, everybody will humiliate me, they will throw me out of the job, or they will not give me the job, and because they do not do this, I will lose job, I will have no money, so I cannot live a happy life without money, so I have to commit suicide or eventually I will die. Now all are associated with death. Now reconcile with that. There is no surety that next moment will be yours. The moment we are born, we are going to die someday or other. But fearing that death is coming to you in public speaking, death is coming to you in the form of cockroach, death is coming to you in the form of lizard, death is coming to you in the form of mosquitoes, will give you only negativity. But if you think that no, I will become strong and then this mosquito bite will not kill me, and even if it makes me vulnerable, so I will find ways in which I can make myself stronger and then work towards a very strong and powerful personality. So reconcile with this notion of death, and then you will be able to think strong about yourself and you should synchronize your body, mind and world. Now, as a concluding thought, I just want you to think two good positive thoughts. One is from Roald Dahl. From him, if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams. So, you will be like sunbeams. The good thoughts will come out and you will always look lovely. What attracts you is the good thoughts, it is the innermost cheerfulness that will be seen out by people and that will attract you towards others. And another one from Helen Keller, keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow, which means that look at the most brightful, powerful, positive thinking that is shown to you in the form of sunshine, then you will not see any weakness, any fearfulness, any shadow will not be seen in your life. For further reading the same 3 books which I have mentioned, apart from the conversation which I took from the internet, if you want to read that, you can read. So, thank you so much for watching this, and then we have reached the conclusion of 3rd week. Wish you all the best for writing this assignment in a very effective and successful manner. Assignments are again helping you to analyze yourself and develop yourself into a very positive personality. Wish you all success by developing a very positive personality. Thank you so much.